Merry Meet and welcome to our stream Taurus. Taurus sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is the 2-week reading for all of you Taurus, starting today, the 9th of August, 2023. And we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating on YouTube is the lovely Dre, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Jennifer. Thank you so much, Dre. Thank you so much, Jennifer. And thank you, Taurus and friends of Taurus, for joining us today for this 2-week reading. If you are watching on a restream on YouTube, you can fast forward through shuffling if you want to by using the timestamp in the video. This is the Miller 1780 Tarot de Besançon. And it's a beautiful deck. I love this. It's from Switzerland. It's a Switzerland-based deck from 1780. Vervain by Fragonard is the Van of the day. I've already used that to purify this room. You can find information about how to purchase those products in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel, Taurus. 2-week reading for all you gorgeous Tauruses, starting today, the 9th of August. And we are sending this out to so many Taurus by the end of this next couple weeks that if it doesn't seem like it applies to you, just disregard it because it may not be meant for you. In that case, check out the zodiacal readings for your other signs, or remember that we have a general reading for all signs every day but Monday. And we have a weekly tarot reading that's a pick-a-card reading that's on my... that comes out every Sunday night, and you can find all of that on my website. God, I cannot talk today. On my website. And just check for the free tarot readings link in the main menu. Sometimes when I'm having trouble talking, that's when I give the best reading. So this could be a good thing. So let's just call it that. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you follow us on Twitch, and you can watch on Twitch without any ads by subscribing to us there. Ooh, hello. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can go to paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga, paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. If you're watching live on YouTube, you could use a super sticker or super chat, or a super thanks if you're watching on a restream. We have a shop at arielscornershop.com. arielscornershop.com. We have most of the tarot decks that I read with, if they're still in print. We do appreciate your support, but mostly, Taurus, this is all about you. So let's cut this deck and see what's in the cards for these next 2 weeks for all you gorgeous Tauruses. Why do I keep saying that? Tauruses. I keep thinking Taurus, plural, should be Tauris, but that's not true. It's Tauruses. All right, so we start out with the Wheel of Fortune, followed by the Knight of Swords, and then you've got this beautiful Sun card. Overall, so far, so good. All right, so what happens with this Wheel of Fortune is things start looking good. Your good expands, all this great stuff starts happening for you. And if you're not centered, it starts to get volatile, and you get a little bit more prone to allowing that volatility to guide you rather than allowing yourself to stay centered, right? So you see how it looks like a pig, and then this other figure, they're on the outside of the wheel. This guy's up on a platform, so he's fine. But these two are on the outside of the wheel, and they can't stay on. They're falling off. It's too volatile, especially when that wheel really starts going fast. So you want to stay centered. So the center of the wheel, no matter how fast it goes, there's no volatility. So this person up here is centered. They are sitting, comfortably on the platform and allowing the wheel to spin beneath them. And I like that. I like that image of that. So the more calm, centered, and focused you are during this phase, the more benefit you can get from it. But it's really easy to allow even the most successful things that go on in our lives to get us off our center. And then once we're off our center, we're more vulnerable and prone to getting the wrong kind of help because we're not thinking clearly. We're reacting. And that's what this is all about. This Chevalier d'Épée, or the Knight of Swords, is all about people trying to help you into conflict. And it's not about them. I always want to make sure that you realize that the way I read, the court cards aren't about them. They're about you and about your propensity to react to and respond to and get enrolled in other people's problems and other people's conflicts, allowing yourself to be victimized by that. Now, when I say victimized, it doesn't necessarily mean people being mean to you, although it could be. But this is not so much that. It's more of you getting hooked by people. They're just doing what they do. That's just how they are. But if you're not on your center, it's really easy for you to get sucked into their drama. And it's and like I said, they're trying to help you into conflict. That's not the kind of help you want. Remember, misery loves company, and you don't want that kind of company, right? And there's no need for it. And I don't think you hang out in that too long. I think most of you either avoid it altogether, or once you get sucked into it, you say, oh, oops, just kidding, and you move on. Because it's followed by this beautiful sun card, which is all about your relationship to your higher self. It's all about your relationship to that solar light, which represents the divine design. The divine design of your life includes everything that you need to make you happy. Everything that you need to make you happy. But it doesn't include things that are going to take you off your path. It doesn't include things that are going to slow you down. And a lot of the times we confuse things, even those of us who think we're, spiritually advanced. A lot of times the moment you think you're spiritually advanced, the universe has a way of saying, how about this? How about this one? So, that it's really good to stay humble in regards to that, because what happens is as soon as we feel like, no, I'm good, I'm not going to allow myself to get involved in anything that's not for my highest good, a lot of times that's when we leave ourselves open to being prone to things like addiction, prone to things like reaction, all the stuff that's so easy for human beings to get sucked into that take them off their path. So, and I don't think you're going to do that, but just be aware that it's there. Be aware that those temptations are there today, and call on that divine design. Call on that solar light the way I talk about it. You can even use my solar light meditation if you don't know how to do that. I have 2 solar light meditations, and all that solar light exercise does is it puts you in alignment with that energy that emits off of sphere number 6 on the tree of life. And that's where the divine design for you and your soul emanate, right? So the divine design, when you allow yourself to align with it through that solar light, what happens is things start to get reorganized, and a lot of these people seem to fall away from you, and a lot of your desire to get sucked into them falls away from you. And it's a very organic, simple, easy process. But the best way to find that is to be coming from that perspective of, I am not as spiritual as I think I am. Right? Just assuming, if I was really spiritually enlightened, if I was really all that, I would probably be demonstrating it differently. So I'm just going to tell the truth that I'm doing my best and things are going well for me, but I can always remind myself that I don't want to take it for granted, and that there is a higher power that knows things better than I do, that's smarter than I am. And I want to defer to that. I want to defer to that higher power, and I want to be the follower, not the leader, in the sense. I hope I'm making sense, because my communication skills are a little bit off today. We've got this 2 of Cups. We've got this Page of Cups, beautiful, and a 4 of Swords, which is just reiterating what we were talking about, of saying no, just disengaging. Out of hand, no matter what it is. If there's a sense that somebody's trying to get you into conflict, if you feel the churning in your gut, if you feel that sense of anxiety being around somebody, disengage immediately. Now, when this 4 of Swords comes up, that's just for now. It's not. I always want to make sure that people understand that the 4 of Swords is telling you disengage from that now. That's your best policy right now. But that doesn't mean that that's always got to be the policy. Sometimes you don't need to disengage. Sometimes you need to get right in there and fight. Sometimes that's appropriate. Now is not one of those times. Now is not one of those times. Now is one of those times where you just let it go, you disengage, and you don't become a part of their drama. Instead, what you have on the other side of that is good news. Look at all of this good news. And this Wheel of Fortune, like I said, is bringing you an expansion of your good, and it's taking you into new places, new vistas, and also new levels for you, because we deal with levels here in this world, new levels of success and prosperity and joy and all of the things that you've been wanting and working on. Right? So it's happening. And what happens, I think, a lot of times is when we start expanding, when things start working out well, it brings up that part of us that needs to be healed, because love brings up everything unlike itself in order to heal. It brings up that part of ourselves that needs to be healed, that is easily hooked, that is more easily activated, that is more easily triggered, if you will. The triggering, this is what this is, that's a good word for this Knight of Swords, is easily triggered by others. Don't be easily triggered by others. You don't need to be, Taurus. It's sort of like in vogue right now. Like what we say and what's really popular right now is the way to handle triggers is to avoid being triggered. Is to make sure that the trigger itself is handled. So, but that's not what this reading is talking about. This reading is saying the trigger is going to be there whether you like it or not. Your job is to not get triggered by it. Your job is to disengage from it, not to say, oh, there's something wrong with this trigger being in my life. The trigger is always going to be in your life. There's always going to be those little things that trigger you. So the reading is saying, don't try to get rid of the trigger, get rid of your engagement with the trigger, get rid of your response and reaction to the trigger. And the way you do that is by getting into that solar light and allowing yourself to be the follower, not the leader, and allow that solar light to tell you what each indicated step should be. And when you do that, on the other side of that trigger is the good news. And that good news is you being able to receive wisdom. And a lot of times this wisdom is received in silence, in silent moments of meditation. And you can bring your triggers to that good news and allow the good news to tell you what they mean. A lot of times what we consider to be a trigger is nothing more than, it has nothing to do with what is supposedly triggering us. It has something to do with something that's unresolved in ourselves. And the good news is always that you can resolve that right here, right now. You can resolve that right here, right now. There's no process. You don't have to go to therapy for 17 years to get to move through that trigger. We can handle it right now. Not to say that you shouldn't be in therapy, but you know what I mean? We can handle that right now. That's what this Page of Cups is all about. I'm giving you good news, and the good news is that all of your problems are already solved, including this. And this Two of Cups over here, I know I'm kind of going over, but this Two of Cups over here is another thing that you've kind of overcome, Taurus, and that's you thinking that there's something missing in you. You thinking that you're not enough. You thinking that you're not, that you got to go get more things in order to be a whole person or something like that. You're getting through that. You're recognizing that that's not true. And one of the things that's triggering in you with people is trying to test that and to make sure that you don't respond to anything by thinking there's something wrong with me and I need to fill a gap. You don't need to fill a gap. There's nothing missing in you. And that's what this good news is all about. This good news is telling you that. So my recommendation over this next couple weeks is get into meditation if you don't already do it. And just allow yourself to sit in silence and feel like you are receiving the wisdom of the universe. Work with that solar light meditation if you have time. And also, I have another meditation on expanding your good, which is based on this Wheel of Fortune card, which is a really good one for you. Disengagement is the name of the game. Disengaging and not reacting and responding with whatever's going on with people in the world, and recognize that none of that has any power over you, and that infinite intelligence has your back, and that you're actually on a road of expansion, a road of success, and a road of spiritual enlightenment, and that these little triggers and things that happen, they happen to all of us, but you're not going to get engaged, and it's not going to be a big deal, because you're healing those ideas that you once had about yourself, that there's something wrong with you or something missing in you, and that's not the case. Thank you so much. Oh, I went over, but that's okay. Thank you so much for being here today, Taurus, and thank you to the amazing moderators. Today we had Dre and Jennifer, and we will see you all in another 2 weeks, Taurus. Blessed be.